So you are leaving Altek, and because they have not a better opportunity, but
I would say that's one of the things that I think if I look back that, I quote unquote did well. I was very patient. I mean, if you love the place you're at and you love the people you're working with, it's not like I'm just jumping at any opportunity that's out there. So I actually, let's say I worked with Altek for 18 months, kind of trying to figure out something's coming. There's another 2 years post that I'm just trying to patiently find the right next step, see what doors God opens, and just Lauren and I are praying through it. And I had other offers at other things that I was just like, this is not, I want to just stay where I am, And I will say it's funny. I finally got to I think maybe I'm just supposed to be here. I'm just supposed to retire from here. And
at Altek.
At Altek. And then just kind of through relationship, I start talking with a guy named Andrew Bender who had started an independent. So the current branded name is OnPoint Capital, which you brought up before. But when he had the business, it was GSG, Graphic Solutions Group. And man, we joke now, it was like a 6-month courtship. It wasn't even, I would say, like an interview. I flew up to New York. I met with him and his team one time, but we spent maybe once a week, an hour on the phone for probably 6 months before he ever made an offer for me to actually come on board.
And you're still with Altek?
I'm still with Altek, so still grinding there, working there, taking care of everything there. And this thing has kind of popped up. And the reality is, the more I got to know Andrew, the more interested I was in going and learning from him. Hard conversations, I think the leader there, kind of the new leader.
Not Andrew,
the guy named Walter, he started, he took over the business. And he worked for Andrew for a long time. And he's a great guy.
Great guy. Yeah. You've never been involved with bad people.
No, my goodness. And that's, I think, it was a hard conversation with him because I think he was kind of thinking, I thought we were doing this together. You know what I mean? When we kind of planned this thing out. But no, I knew I never got let go. I actually, they offered me, some other things when I did finally say, hey, I think I'm gonna move on, because it's a growing business. They're trying to scale and figure it out. But man, once Lauren said it, we committed to praying, some specific prayers, and we kind of committed and said, Lord, if you green light these things. Yeah. And there was a couple on there that I'm like,
big ones,
not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Sure. Like of course they came from Lauren, and I'm like, well, that's never gonna happen. Yeah. And then when he greenlit all of them, we just knew that's what we were supposed to do next. Yeah. So hard conversations at OnPoint, but I really was kind of ready to take the next step, and so stepped directly from there. And at the time, the company was called AB Consulting, because I'm not a marketing guy, and I just go get just try to make money.
What can we name it?
Hey, you want to hear a funny story?
Auston Bennett. That's it. I got it.
Funny story. Yeah. No kidding. I'm still considering doing this whole thing. I'm actually, one of the prayer requests that, and again, Lauren putting some of this stuff out there was like, not only does it have to be, because I'd started I had like little side hustles, I'd done some other businesses over the years that just didn't pan out real well. She was like, well, it's got to be in the industry that you've spent the last 20 years. So like,
fair.
You're going to, if you want to start your own business, it's going to be,
you're not going to go build houses.
That's right. Okay. And then she says, and I want to know that there's some people that are going to buy from you, right out of the gate. We launched November of 2019. So
okay. Same month I launched Table and Time, which is funny.
So here we go. Just in time for COVID.
Yeah.
Which was definitely not part of the 1 year plan.
No, definitely.
And the reality is that it's one of those things that we kind of see God's hand on. It's like, if we had waited much longer, would never have launched the business. Never would have stepped out. The whole world shut down. You know what I mean? 4 months after we launched.
I've launched another catering business, event business, 6 months before COVID. So, I get it. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, what are we doing?
God, we're sure, but like, this is not part of the plan. You know what I mean? We definitely have.
How much did COVID affect your launch point?
In the big scheme of things, again, I know probably so many of your listeners were like greatly affected. The cool thing about what we were doing was that we're transferring paper, and most of that's done digitally. So you don't have to be in the same room. To be very clear, everybody was panicking and freaking out. So nobody was really doing a lot of business. Yeah. But our ability to go do deals was really never pulled from us, even though
relatively easy.
We probably felt like 60 days of this when the world just kind of shut down. Everybody tried to figure out where we were.
First 60 days was hard.
Yeah. But after that, we could continue. I could continue to try to grind from my house. You know what I mean?
Sure. How long until you hired your first employee?
Probably right about a year.
So just you?
Yeah. I always give Lauren credit. She's there, with me from the beginning. But I'm grinding, through the day, trying to just get the business off the ground. We're about a year in. I've done a couple transactions, and
that's enough to. Did you ever feel squeezed financially?
I don't know that I would say the word squeezed. I was like freaking out a lot of months. Is this really going to work next month? And are we going to be able to close this deal? And is this thing going to happen? It's like all of that. I had had a mentor. That was one of the prayer requests. Was I wanted some mentors in my life. One of which was like a faith-based entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so I approached a guy that I'd never met before and that got connected through relationship and asked him if he would mind. And that was again one of the green lights. It's like I wanted these certain people.
Who was
in
it?
place. Mark Hancock.
Oh yeah.
So I go to Mark